Now to a high-stakes meeting between President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago. The president welcoming his Israeli counterpart ahead of a meeting happening now to discuss the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The leaders are expected to focus on advancing the 20-point peace plan in Gaza, which is still holding despite a number of clashes between Israeli forces and Hamas militants. Hamas is also supposed to disarm as part of that deal, something that Israel says is not close to happening. Here's what Trump said while welcoming the Israeli leader.
There has to be a disarmament, that we have to disarm with Hamas. So one of the things we'll talk about, certainly, but there has to be a disarming of Hamas. We're going to be dealing on Gaza. That's why this very great prime minister is here right now. We're talking about Gaza. We're talking about a lot of things. We have about 5 major subjects that we're discussing, and Gaza will be one of those subjects.
This comes as tensions in the region are high after Iran's president said his nation is in a, quote, full-scale war with America, Israel, and Europe. Our senior White House correspondent Selina Wang is tracking all of this from Palm Beach, Florida, and joins us for more, along with contributor and former Assistant Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, Elizabeth Neumann. Great to have you both. So, Selina, what do you make of what we just heard from the president? He said he has a big agenda today with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Yeah, the president said they have 5 major issues to discuss, including Gaza. And we know that one of the president's key priorities here is to keep Netanyahu in line and try and advance this fragile Israel-Hamas ceasefire into the next phase, which, as the president said, includes disarmament, but it also includes the creation of this technocratic Palestinian governance, this international stabilization force. The president saying he hopes that it can move to that next phase quickly, but it needs to include that disarmament of Hamas. Now, the president gave a whole wide-ranging number of comments. He forcefully also backed Netanyahu, saying that this is a wartime president, that Israel wouldn't exist without Netanyahu's strength. And the president also making a number of comments about Iran, critical here because this comes after Iran's president said that the country is in a, quote, full-scale war with America, Israel, and Europe. So Iran's nuclear activity is also expected to be at the top of the agenda.
Ceasefire, the president says they're trying to advance. What do we know about any sort of progress there and this goal of disarming Hamas? That seems like a challenge, given that we've kind of seen these ongoing attacks between the IDF and Hamas.
That's right, Elizabeth. I mean, this is the key issue. We knew that phase 1, as hard as that was kind of the easy part. Phase 2, disarming Hamas, is very difficult. I think there's basically an understanding that there's a limit to how much Israel can do, and we really need those Arab states to step up and help set up a structure that would allow an international peace force to be able to kind of stabilize the section of Gaza, as well as find and disarm Hamas. That is going to be the toughest thing to figure out how, who, and what the steps are to get there. And from what we can tell with Netanyahu, he's not ready for that conversation yet. He's still trying to get one hostage, the remains of one hostage back. So there is kind of this interesting dynamic at play of momentum is starting to degrade. And you do start to worry that the ceasefire might fall apart if we can't get to phase 2 soon.
Let's switch gears, Elizabeth. President Trump was also asked about an apparent attack on Vladimir Putin's residence, something that he says he learned from the Russian leader himself. Take a listen.
You know who told me about it? President Putin told me about it. Early in the morning, he said he was attacked. It's no good. It's no good. Don't forget, the Tomahawks. I stopped the Tomahawks. I didn't want that. Because we're talking about, it's a delicate period of time. This is not the right time. It's one thing to be offensive, because they were offensive. It's another thing to attack his house. It's not the right time to do any of that. And can't do it. And I learned about it from President Putin today. I was very angry about it.
An attack on Putin's residence. Isn't this something, Elizabeth, that the president would be learning from his own intelligence agencies rather than from Vladimir Putin himself?
One would think. Basically, we have no other independent verification that this attack happened. The timing is a little suspect. It does seem like Putin's just trying to disrupt the peace talks that are happening in Mar-a-Lago with Zelensky yesterday. And there's a lot here that makes you raise your eyebrow. But I'm also a little concerned that the president seems to be giving Putin the benefit of the doubt. I don't know that Russia has earned that. They have a history of making these false claims and trying to disrupt peace negotiations. So hopefully, once the intelligence community is able to brief the president, we'll learn more as to whether or not this is something that actually happened or if it's another distraction technique.
Certainly keep following that. And as Selina has been reporting, comes on the heels of that meeting between President Trump and President Zelensky of Ukraine just yesterday. Selina Wang, Elizabeth Neumann, thank you both so much.